Edge Nation, this is your man, CitizenEdge, coming through with another video. This is your concealed carry headquarters, where we're practical and not tactical, but always packing.
AR block 40, boy, I keep it on me. You don't want no smoke, keep it peaceful, homie. I'm trying to draw some game, put my people on it. Gotta protect my family, I can't leave them lonely. Boy, I keep it on me.
We're going to talk about today the psychological exam, but before we get going on that, if you found value in this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, turn your notifications on to all so that you receive the latest information on the concealed carry lifestyle, personal safety, and your everyday security tips. Now, I'm following up on a video that I did right above about the psychological exam here in the state of California for the exposed carry firearm permit. Up until recently, about a year or so ago, there was a new mandate for security officers in the state of California to obtain an exposed firearm carry permit. This goes a long way and will be a precursor, I believe, for the entire country, as all these mass shootings are raising another political agenda to make it harder for law-abiding citizens to obtain a firearm when crimes are committed, obviously, by criminals. But like I said from day one, however California goes is however the country goes. But, you know, we have to deal with these rules and regulations as law-abiding citizens in order to obtain and maintain our right to bear arms. I would love to get my hands on the actual test. So if you know anyone taking it, you know, of course, it's gonna be bending the rules a little bit, but please be so kind to share, provide me those questions so we can look at further, deeper dive into this exam and what the real agenda is. Without further ado, I'm gonna give you an update to this individual's, you know, ordeal in obtaining a exposed firearm carry permit as a security guard here in the state of California. Now, this individual, if you're wondering, has no record, no felonies, much, not even misdemeanors. He has a security guard permit. He paid $500 with the qualifying calibers for the test already. They accepted his money. He took an actual firearms course and he qualified with the several different calibers on the range. So he's approved by all intents and purposes. He is approved to carry a firearm. But of course, you know, with this new added mandate for the psychological exam, things are not what they used to be.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
No, we're not. So without further ado, I'm gonna read the results and see. Let's wish this guy luck. You know, he passed already. Let's see what BSIS, that's the Bureau of Security and Investigative Services, which is overseen by the Department of Consumer Affairs here in the state of California for all security officers. All right, reading right out the letter, got my phone on me, reading verbatim. Okay, dear, your application for a Bureau of Security and Investigative Services, BSIS, firearms permit is denied. Pursuant to the provisions of Business and Professions Code BPC, Section 7583.23, 7583.24, and 7583.47. Oh my God, this is not looking good. Pursuant to BPC Section 7583.23 and 7583.47, I'm gonna look up these sections to provide some further in-depth understanding on what they're referencing as far as what their decision, in this case here, a denial, so we can see if we can uncover some other crap. But I have a feeling that this is going to lay the groundwork for many people to seek legal action. I'm gonna go further into this letter because if I was him, man, I swear to God,
I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
You're damn right. So let's go further on into this letter. Security guards applying for a BSIS firearms permit must take an assessment identified by the Bureau that evaluates whether the firearms, permanent applicant, at the time of the assessment possesses appropriate judgment, restraint, and self-control for the purpose of carrying and using a firearm during the course of his or her security guard duties. Once again, check out my video about what questions were on this very test, because it didn't make any sense at all. None of the questions that he took, and like I said, I called him he called me actually right after he took this course and told me what it was. There were questions about safe handling of a firearm, wasn't about parts of the firearm, wasn't about the best practices. There were questions likened to, would you rather hang out with your friends or your family? Do you like triangles or circles? Are you freaking serious, man? Whoever wrote this test, I swear to God, just feel like this smacking them straight up. You would too, especially if you're denied, especially if you don't have a record, especially if you paid almost $500, took a 2-day course. That's time and money out of your day trying to obtain a firearm permit. And by all intents and purposes, if it wasn't for this psychological exam, you would have had a permit. Mind you, it is June. Almost finished the first week in June, and he applied for this permit back in November of 2020. That's 8 months, people. Let's carry on with the letter, shall we? Maybe you can provide some further insight. You be the case, drop a comment below. Tell me what you think. All right. BPC section 7583.24 prohibits the Bureau from issuing a firearm permit when the assessment results indicate that the applicant is incapable of exercising appropriate judgment, restraint, and self-control for the purposes of carrying and using a firearm during the course of the applicant's security guard duties. All right, give me some insight here. Using your firearm as a security guard in the state of California, you're only able to pull, or no, let's use their words. You're only able to use it if you're facing imminent bodily harm or death. And that's actually a higher precedent than a civilian. You know, regardless of what anybody's experiences are as a civilian, being a security guard in the state of California in a not a pro 2A state is hell, because you have to further delay your normal reactions as a civilian who's law-abiding when utilizing your firearm. So it's pretty straight cut and forward. You pass the test. He passed the test. He, like I said, took an assessment already that had actual questions dealing what you would believe clearly what a firearm permit would entail. But like I said before, if you ever get your hands on that test, please let me know. We need to see it for ourselves. I got it firsthand from a person who took it themselves, but I want to see it for myself. How could they deny a person who's put their hard-earned money, who has no record, who displayed already that they have the skills and the knowledge to not only, he has several weapons, he's about to buy another one. So background check, you know, when he applied, years prior, before he applied for an exposed firearm carry permit, he bought weapons. He's about to pick up another weapon soon. That should be enough evidence to ensure that they have a different agenda here. Let's carry on with this letter. You completed your assessment on March 12, 2021. April. What? 2-3 months to get a result from the psychological exam? What were they looking for? Like I said, he said there were many cameras there. You couldn't use your cell phone. It was closely monitored, but none of the questions, not one word dealing with the firearm or parts of a firearm whatsoever. Your assessment results indicated at the time of your assessment that you do not demonstrate the capability of exercising appropriate judgment, restraint, once again, and self-control. What? Self-control for the purposes of carrying and using a firearm during the course of performing security guard duties. Therefore, your application for a BSIS firearms permit is denied. So they go on with this letter to talk about how to apply for an appeal. But the caveat here, as I was telling him, you know, you would imagine a person would be frustrated. It says here, carry on with the letter, in bold letters on the next page, the Bureau must receive your appeal request within 30 days from the date of this notice to enable your appeal to be heard before an ALJ. I'm pretty sure it's a presiding court or a commission. It goes further on to say you will be contacted by the assigned Deputy Attorney General regarding the dates of your hearing. Please know that it may take several months for your administrative hearing to be scheduled. To be scheduled. Oh my God, man. This doesn't make any sense, people. To be scheduled. I thought it'll take, oh man. To be scheduled. Seriously. Doesn't make any sense. Here it goes further on. If you do not submit a request to appeal your application denial within the specified time frame, which is 30 days of this letter, no further action will be considered on your denied application, and pursuant to BP section 7583.24E, you will be required to wait 1 year from the date of this notification from the Bureau will consider a new application for a firearm permit. You will be required to wait 1 year from the date of this notification before the Bureau will consider a new application for a firearm permit. So after you pass the course, you passed your rain time, paid your hard-earned money, passed that background check. If you fail the psychological exam with not one single question from what I'm told has anything to do with the firearm or safe use of a firearm, if you fail that, you have to wait 1 year if you do not respond to this letter for an appeal within 30 days before you will be considered for a new application for a firearm permit. The whole process over, non-refundable, because of course you have to go to a third party to get this classroom training, to get the range time in. This is ridiculous. Wow. Tell me what you think. You know, I'm gonna take my take right now. If there are no questions regarding a firearm or safe use for a firearm on this psychological exam, what are they determining the right and wrong answer or an acceptable answer to be? This is straight up subjective. But based on what? There were several cameras, so they know what you look like, know your name. They knew how you know your answers, or not only your answers, but the responses to generalized questions where seemingly there is no right or wrong. If you are an introvert, you're going to prefer to hang out with your family. If you're an extrovert, you may lean toward hanging out with friends. How is that determining whether or not you are capable in their eyes for safe use of a firearm? But I'm not taking much of your time. I'm going to find out more information on that if you find out the questions. I would love to know. We have to get to the bottom of this, people. In the meantime, between time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is your man, Citizen Edge. Edge Nation, I'm out.